Thanks for joining me here in lovely downtown Nevada City, California. That's where I live. I'm out here on my front porch enjoying the scenery, and I just wanted to talk to you about a new aspect of augmented reality that we call InfoAR. And so thanks for taking the time to hear what I have to say. InfoAR can be described as a better way to find information that's near you. When I say information, I'm really talking about info in the cloud, things you'd find with a typical Google search. I remember when I first started using the internet that I felt there needed to be something like the Yellow Pages, something more locally organized. And yeah, eventually Google came along and we got the concept of Near Me, and it kind of became prolific. But really, the first day I saw augmented reality, and that was in the Pokemon Go game, I knew this idea I had long ago was real now. And everything you wanted to know about everything that's around you is just right there. And thus the birth of InfoAR. Before I dig down a bit into the big idea, I want to lay the groundwork so all of us are on the same page. So augmented reality, its basic feature is to add something into the camera view of a mobile device with additional graphics, right? This is most commonly a smartphone, but it's also available in AR-enabled glasses, heads-up displays. The additional graphics can be photorealistic 3D items, or they can just be things like text or 2D graphics. One key aspect of more sophisticated AR is that the graphics can be anchored in the scene at a specific location. So as you change your view position, the graphics stay anchored in the same view. So they look like they really are in the scene. In addition to that general description of AR, there's also a variable aspect as to how the graphics are anchored. AR is so new that the specific language to describe these variations is not yet even fully developed or agreed upon, but I'll describe some so you can see where InfoAR and our apps fit in. Some AR techniques add a graphic to some element in the scene. For instance, Snapchat might let you add graphics to an object. So let's say you put some glasses on or a mustache on your face. Now as you move your camera around, the glasses and the mustache stay in the right place on your camera. This is object-based or object-anchored AR or augmented reality. Some techniques might let you place a new object into a room, for instance. IKEA has a cool app called Place, and it lets you put a piece of furniture into the scene. You have to scale it or size it yourself and get it to the right size, but then you can walk around and look and see in the room what it looks like to have that new piece of furniture there. So this is anchored to a specific location, or what we might call room scale. What scale is this thing located in? It's located within the context of this room. And another type might be called geolocated or world scale, meaning this thing is at the right place on the earth, not just in a room, but on the earth. And it can be placed there ahead of time before you ever show up. It's not like IKEA, you have to put it there. If you know the latitude, longitude, the azimuth, the angle it's supposed to be spun to, you can have this thing on there. And another concept for InfoAR that we want to talk about is geotags. This is a very common piece of what we're doing with InfoAR. So I can tell you that my app is a world scale app. InfoAR is really world scale. And it's not quite so sexy as 3D models and on the face of the earth or making things look there that aren't really there. I'm really focusing on InfoAR, or facilitating tags, what I'm calling geotags, at different locations on the earth. Some of the tags will just be static. Some of them will be hyperlinked to other things. So someone might just say, this is a thing, and other ones might link to something. So the term tag might be misleading, but it's just a generic thing, a container word for a thing or an item. So some tags can be linked, some tags are not linked. What are some not linked tags? Maybe a street number of a building. If you put an AR seeing the number of a building floating in front of that building, you can easily find it. You don't have to look around on the face of the building, but it's not linked to anything. It's just out in space in front of the building. Or the name of the street written on the street, or a virtual billboard in front of a building, or a big red arrow pointing down to where you parked your car because you marked it with a geotag saying, hey, put a marker here where my car is. Some linked types of tags might be something a little cooler, something like a Yelp icon. So when you look down the street through your phone and there's a restaurant there, out in front of the restaurant, you'll see a Yelp icon. You can click on that icon. It takes you to Yelp and you understand, there's the data, there's info that's around me, or maybe Wikipedia. Maybe there's a monument or a famous building or a bridge or something that might have a Wikipedia link floating next to it, a geotag that links back to Wikipedia. Or businesses might use this themselves. A power company or the fire department might put geotags on fire hydrants or on electrical equipment up on the pole, and they can link back to their database of information about that. So InfoAR is using augmented reality technology to create hyperlinks all around you. Any info that you want to find about something is there near you. Besides introducing this new concept of InfoAR, we're also introducing something that we call the tagosphere. The tagosphere is a hidden global layer of information. It's just beyond your natural sight. You can look into the tagosphere to find anything you need, find information about anything you need. So watch our tag talk about the tagosphere to learn more. Thanks, and I hope you enjoyed this information and maybe learned something interesting. Thanks.